Most coloring book creators focus on making their covers look cute, but not clickable. Now, the truth is, a cover can be absolutely beautiful and still not sell a single copy. In this video, I will show you how to design a coloring book cover that doesn't just look good, it grabs attention, builds curiosity, and actually makes people want to buy. Now, here's the mistake that is costing most creators sales. They design based on what they like, not what the market wants. They choose colors because they are pretty, they use delicate fonts because they look elegant, they add intricate background because it looks artistic. But the problem with that is that your customers are scrolling on tiny phone screens in most cases, and if your cover doesn't instantly grab attention and communicate what is inside, you're going to just scroll right past it. Now, for example, this cover here might look beautiful printed on paper, and even on, my laptop screen, it actually looks cute. But in a thumbnail size, when you're scrolling on a small screen, it actually disappears. It's unable to communicate what it's supposed to communicate. But you see something like this one here. It is simple, it is bold, and it is instantly clickable. Now, that is the kind of book cover that we are aiming for. Same thing as this one here. You can see this here. It looks cute, and even on a large screen, you print it on paper, it looks somewhat okay. But when you shrink it down to a tiny phone screen, it's almost invisible, and one can't even tell that it's a coloring book. This is as opposed to something like this that, is bold, it catches attention, and it is instantly clickable. Now, before you design anything, you need to do your homework. And I don't mean having to spend hours overthinking. I mean just spending about 15 minutes studying what is already working. So here's what you want to do. The first thing is you want to head over to Amazon.com and you want to search for your specific niche. This could be probably coloring books for adults, animal coloring books for kids, or even maybe more specific niches. And what you want to do is you want to look at the top 20 to 30 results, and you want to notice the pattern. For example, I searched coloring book for adults, and I'm just going to look at the top 20 to 30. You can see these are bestsellers. So what exactly is something common with them? What kind of colors are they using? As you can see, they are using bright colors, and this one that even has somewhat of a dark color, you can see it's a gradient. It's a blend between bright colors and dark colors. You can see the introduction of multiple colors into it. It's not monotoned. It has different blends of bold, bright colors. You want to notice the big title text. You can see how the title actually always stands out. You also want to notice, is there like just a focal image or multiple elements? You can see when it comes to something like cozy, you can see it has more than one focal image just to represent the extent of detail that you're going to find in the coloring book. You also want to notice what kind of style are they using. Is it really realistic kind of styles, or are they making it very cartoonish or minimalist? You want to notice all of these patterns. Now, you're not here to like copy and paste directly. You are here to understand what makes people stop scrolling and click. Now, once you've discovered all of this pattern, you may want to write them down because that is your design brief. Your cover needs to do one thing really well. It needs to instantly communicate what is inside the book. For example, if you look at the stress relief and you open the book, if we look at some of the images inside, you can see that it is not so far-fetched from what exactly the cover communicates. There should not be any confusion within your cover and what your content is. There should not be any mixed signals. If your book is cozy and cute, don't make your cover look dark and mysterious, or don't make it cozy and cute and your interior pages are dark and mysterious. All right, let us put this into action. I'm going to be showing you exactly how I design a cover using AI and Canva. So the first thing is, once you've discovered the unique patterns that is actually resonating with your prospective customers within your niche, the next thing is you want to understand your book specification, meaning what is exactly your book theme, what are the contents of your interior page. At this point, you may want to have already completed the interior pages of your coloring book, because in most cases, most people just use one of the coloring pages and actually colorize them to make them the cover page. So you can actually do that. But right now, there are no interior pages. I'm just going to show you how you can leverage Canva AI and your creative mindset to create a unique cover that actually stands out. So I'm going to be heading over to this AI tool. It's called Eye Coloring AI. It's actually free. So when you sign up and you log in, you actually get some free credits that you can use. And what I typically like about this AI tool is that it has what you call the AI book cover generator, meaning that you can directly prompt this AI tool and it's going to give you a colorized book cover. So I'm going to click on the create now, and this is where I'm going to prompt the AI tool. So let's take, for example, I'm going with like a relaxation, cozy, like coloring book of a vacation time. So I'm going to just prompt it. So now I have written down my prompt and I'm saying 6 cute, bold vacation objects arranged in 2 rows. That is like 3 objects in each column. Each of the 2 rows should be well spaced apart such that there is a space in the middle. The space should be almost big enough for a 3rd row. So this is the kind of thing that I'm trying to achieve. 2 rows, 3 in each column, then space in the middle, because that's where we're going to add our title. Then I'm saying the 6 cute, bold vacation objects are a signpost with beach written on it. Let me just put the beach in quotations so it understands well. A beach hat resting on a beach chair, a beach coconut drink, a travel camera, a swim ring, and a beach t-shirt. The colors should be bold and bright. Objects should have clean details and outlines. Background color should be light peach. Now, if you look at it, you can see how well I gave it details. And I always say this, the more detail you give to AI, the more better and the more refined your output will be. Now, this prompt is not some prompt I had to generate from ChatGPT. This is prompt that I wrote down. And if you look at it, I was actually describing it based on what I have in mind. So you need to have had a concept in mind so that you can tell AI and be able to be as specific as possible so that it gives you as much refined output as possible. Now for the style, which is super important because that will determine the kind of way the image will come out. Now for the purpose of this video, this coloring book cover we're trying to create is for like teen/adult kind of coloring book. So I'm going to go for cartoon. For the size, this will determine the dimension of your coloring book. So if you are going for something like an 8.5 by 11 kind of coloring book, you want to go with 3:4. If you are going for like a horizontal like kind of coloring book size, you want to go with 4:3. If you are going with 8.5 by 8.5, that's like typically a square, you want to go with 1:1. And in most cases, most of this kind of coloring book, it's usually like a square. If we look at this is a square, 8.5 by 8.5, 8.5 by 8.5, 8.5 by 8.5, and just like so. So now I'm going to leave it at 1:1 and I'm going to click on generate. So it's going to take 1 credit and we're going to see how it comes out. And you can see it pretty much gave us something really, really unique. It gave us the signpost, the hats, the beach wear, the t-shirt, the rubber ring, and I'm not sure what this is though. But then this is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to download it. Now, I know that there's supposed to be space in the middle, but it's added this in the middle. And don't worry, we're going to be able to go fix that. So I'm going to download it. What I can do again is I can decide to generate again to see how well it's going to refine the image again. The image just got worse. So I'm not going to even use this one if I decide to generate again just to see what other options we have. This is something we don't want, so I'm going to just go ahead with the first one. Mind you, if you have all of these images and none of them are something that you can actually manipulate, you may want to go back to check your prompt and see where you can refine it better so that AI can really understand what you are trying to say. Now, the next thing we're going to do now that we have like our draft book cover, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Amazon KDP cover calculator, because that is where we are going to get the exact dimension that we're supposed to be using for our book cover with regards to Amazon KDP. So over to Amazon KDP book cover calculator, I'm going to select the binding type as paperback, the interior type black and white, the paper type white paper, the reading direction left to right, the measurement unit in inches, the interior trim size. Remember, we're using 8.5 and by 8.5 for the purpose of this video, so I'm going to be clicking that. And for the page count, which is super important because your page count will determine the size that the Amazon KDP book cover calculator is going to give you, which is why I said you need to have your interior pages ready. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be assuming that we have a page count of 32 pages, and I'm going to hit calculate dimension. Automatically, this book cover calculator is going to give us the exact width and height we're supposed to impute into Canva to get our exact dimension. Also, I'm going to go ahead and download the template, and I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be using that for in a minute. Heading straight to Canva, I'm going to click the plus icon here. I'll click custom size. I will change the units to inches, which is super important. I'm going to impute the width and the height that Amazon book cover calculator has given us. And I'm going to create a new design. So our new design is ready right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that template I downloaded. So usually when you download the template, it comes as a zip file, which you want to extract so that you can actually get what you want inside. In the zip file, you are going to see the template in both the PDF and the PNG. Then you're going to see something here that's like an instruction or a guide. So what we need in this case is just the PNG version, and I'm going to separate that. So I've gone ahead into Canva and I have uploaded that PNG file. You can see this is how it looks like. I'm going to add it to our design. I'm going to ensure it fills the design page. It ought to be a perfect fit because I used the exact dimension that I got from Amazon KDP book calculator. By the way, if you are finding this video helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to join the family, and do not forget to smash the notification bell icon so when next I drop a new video, YouTube will notify you first. Now, the whole essence of adding the template first is such that you are able to understand where to put where. Then this is also to help you centralize whatever you are doing in each page. This is the front page, this is the back page. This middle line indicates the book spine, where any text or image you put there is going to go over the bend of the book. So this will help you know how you are centralizing your text or your image, as well as doing the same to the back. Also, it will help you know where the barcode is usually at, so that you do not put any important detail, probably author name, where the barcode would obviously cover it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload what I've already downloaded from the AI tool. You can see our image here, and I'm going to bring it to the front page and zoom it out such that it fits the entire of the front page, and you can see it here like so. Again, I'm going to reduce the transparency. The whole essence is just for me to be able to see around the pink line, so I know I'm centralizing it well, and so that any of the elements do not go into areas where it's going to be trimmed off. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to manipulate what we have here, just so that I get what I wanted initially. So let me just increase it back because I want to put another one here, another element here. So I'm going to bring a shape, which is a square shape, and I'm going to put it here just like so. I'm going to increase it until it fits the back page, and I'm going to change the color. So if you go to colors on Canva, under photo colors, you're going to be able to see the different colors that are already on the design. So you can see the color on the design of the front cover page, and you can be able to see all the colors available. What I want to use is the exact color of the background, so you can see it here like so, and I'm going to be adding it, and you can see this is like the exact color of the front cover page. If peradventure you actually wanted the color to be much more lighter, maybe you wanted it brighter and this color is a bit dark, you can decide to use the background remover. The background remover is going to take out the background color, after which we can then extend this to the end of the page, and we're going to position it all the way to the back, just like so. And what we are going to then do is we are going to change the color and make it light just the way we want. You can decide to even use gradient colors to add a little, spice to it, depending on what you actually want. So I like this because it's giving like, sunset kind of vibes. And I'm going to be going with this. Again, we're going to go back and reduce the transparency so we see what we're doing beneath. Now, again, we want to create space in the middle. I want to take out this because this is not what I wanted. This is also not what I wanted. And even the beachwear is not giving me exactly what I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on edit. And I'm going to go all the way to Magic Grab. With Magic Grab, I'm going to be able to grab any of the objects here and move them around as I please. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm using the brush just to take them out since I'm unable to click them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete it. Again, what I can do is I'm going to also highlight for the camera and I'm going to grab it. Now that I've grabbed it, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here downwards. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for the t-shirts because I don't want this t-shirt. I wanted a beach t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and I can decide to use Magic Grab again. And I'm grabbing the t-shirt and I'm clicking on grab. Now I've grabbed it, I can just delete it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to elements and I'm going to go search for beach t-shirts. Remember to add cute because we want it cartoon-like. So I'm clicking on enter and there are quite a ton of them here. So you just want to search for the one that looks better, sort of. I'm going to be going with this one here and I'm going to bring it down. If you notice, I looked for one that looked really similar in terms of the kind of outline that it had. I'm just going to make it a little bit sharper in terms of the sharpness and the clarity. And I added a little bit of vibrance to it. I can decide to just move around the colors. So I'm using this green instead of pink. You see how I converted the pink shades to like sort of greenish, just like so. And you can see it looks beautiful. Now let's talk about the most underestimated element of cover design, which is your title font. Now here's a golden rule. If someone cannot read your title in 2 seconds from a thumbnail view, you have already lost the sale. If you look at this example, just by it coming across me, I already see that the name is cozy and cute, trippy and groovy, little corner. That way, I am able to easily identify what the book title is. However, if you look at something like this, maybe beautiful font, but when you shrink it down to thumbnail size on phone, it's unreadable. Now, here is what works. Bold, thick font, not thin, unless you are going for maybe a specific niche, sort of, but bold, thick fonts are what actually captures attention the most. And you want to have high contrast between text and background. So it's a light on dark or dark on light. Again, we're going to go and set up our fonts. But before we do that, you can see that this area here and this other area here where I took off the camera and the other beach t-shirt, I want to take that out so I can go ahead and click on background remover again. So all of that is cleared out. Now I'm clicking on text and I'm clicking on heading. Now, probably our title is Cozy Holidays. So I'm going to write that down. Let's see if we can find sans serif. So we didn't find exactly sans serif, but if we look around, we can see some others. We can also check the others here until we find something that really resonates with what we're going for. So I like this one, which is the Benoru semi-condensed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it centralized and I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to make the effect outlined. The outline color will be sort of dark brown. I can find that here by just moving around the color palette over here. So this is okay. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the thickness. What I can do again is I can just work on the letter spacing just so that, you know, it's not too congested. And I can zoom that out. So now that we have Cozy Holidays, we can again add another text for our subheading, which could be Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. So we're going to add that here. Now, you want to avoid using more than 2 fonts on your book cover, probably one for the title and one for the subtitle if needed. Now, for the Cute and Comfy Coloring Book, we can also change the color. For the color, I'm going to be using dark brown. And I'm going to be changing the fonts also. So I think I like this one, Rosario. I can zoom it out as well so that it's really visible. And I'm going to also bolden it as well so that it really stands out. You want to ensure that your titles are very centralized because when the book is bent over, If it is not centralized or it's a bit skewed, it's going to be really obvious. So now that we have that here, we want to do the back. Now for the back, it's really easy, and one simple way people really create the back of the cover page is by using some of the images in the interior pages again, which is why you need to already have your interior pages where you can just pick a few images and add them to the back. In this case, we do not have a pre-created interior page, and this is just to show you how to create a cover page. So I'm going to go ahead and just create some vacation images with AI and bring them over just for the purpose of this video. So I'm going to go off the camera and do that. So I have gone to create some images of the camera. So I've added all of the images, and what I'm going to do is I've highlighted all of it, and I'm just going to zoom it out. This is so that I'm able to get about the same size. So this is okay. Again, I'm going to add a stroke weight. I can make the stroke weight 2. I'm going to be arranging them. So I'm just taking them gradually and putting them side by side. And this is good. We can either make it lines like this, or we can decide to remove the stroke weight and instead click on edit, go to shadows and click on something like drop. So that way it looks like a shadow beneath it. And just like I've done for this one, like this, I'm going to go ahead and copy it and do it for the others. So this gives it like a unique feel. What I'm going to do again is I can copy this here and I'm going to use it for my author name. So I can just simply say my TFI designs, just like so. Again, I can just bring this to the downward part. You also want to make sure it's really centralized at the back page. Another thing I can add is I can just bring this here. Remember, we're assuming that it's a 32-page coloring book. So I am assuming that we have about 16 coloring pages. So I'm just going to say 16 bold and cute vacation themed coloring pages. I can centralize that over here. I actually changed the font to the Bernard semi-condensed, which is the one we have on Cozy Holidays, because I wanted it really bold, just like so. And this is looking really good. Again, we can still decide to take our images downwards just to give enough space for this to present itself. You can see that our cover page is almost coming to life. Another thing we can do just to add some little bit of addition to it is we can add like cute flower patterns. So I'm going to go with print. I can go with this one over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add it randomly around our cover page. I'm going to reduce the transparency because I don't want it to be really visible. And I can just duplicate that multiple times, bring that over here, move the position to behind the beachwear. I can also duplicate that, bring it over here. I can do a flip so that it's just about the same. And I can bring this over here as well. And instead of bringing it here, I'm going to bring it over here, just like so. And I'm going to copy it. I can bring it over here. In this case, I do not mind the barcode covering it. I'm also going to flip it just like so. And I think this is actually cute, just like so. And once we are done, what we're going to do is we're going to click on our image. We're going to increase the transparency, move it all the way to the back so that we can take out this template as we no longer have any need for it. And just like that, we've been able to create a beautiful cover that stands out and is clickable. You need to understand that a great cover doesn't just inform, it intrudes. So you want people to think, oh, if the cover is this beautiful, I wonder what is inside. Like I always say, you want to take as much time as possible in creating your cover page because your cover page is your first salesman. That is what people would see first before they even think of clicking on your book to buy. Now, do note that the AI tool I used is actually free. However, some of the things I used in Canva, some of the elements and some of the features I used actually require the Canva Pro plan. So you need to have been subscribed to the Canva Pro plan. But if you do not want to have to do that, that means you need to have to prompt everything you want to do on the AI tool. And of course, until you get what you want, you have to keep refining your prompts. I do hope you found this video helpful. Now, this is just the cover page. Now, do note that cover page is just one step. You need to be able to create interior pages that will keep your customers satisfied and make them leave good reviews such that more people will be propelled to buy your coloring book. And if you want to know how to create or design a coloring book interior step by step, I am going to be attaching a video where I show you how to use AI to create prompts, how to manipulate your prompt, refine them such that you get the best image as possible, and how you can even use Canva to refine those, and not just the interior pages, but as well the cover page. And if that interests you, you want to click the video you see on your screen right now and go check it out. Ciao.